Right, for anyone who's thinking about getting plug-in solar from the 27th of August 2026, it will technically be legal. Now, plug-in solar, also known as balcony solar, has been around for a while in other countries in Europe, and recently, since the talk about the UK legislating it, a lot of systems online have been selling out completely. However, a lot of these kits that people are buying at the moment are not going to be allowed from the 27th of August 2026. So it is important that you watch this video, not only to understand the savings, the possibilities of what it could do, the limits, but to also find out the kits of what is allowed and what's not going to be allowed, because it's not what everyone thought it was going to be. Now, if you're interested in learning more about these kits, I will be getting some to review, so make sure you click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on what's coming. So what actually changes? Well, up until now, plugging in a solar system to a 13 amp socket like one of these has not been allowed, but the regulations, the wiring regulations, will be changing from the 27th of August to allow it, but only for products that meet the government's new plug-in solar device interim product specification. Now, the key rules here are going to be the maximum output is 800 watts, only one device allowed, and the panels themselves, they can be higher than the wattage as long as the inverter is capped at 800 watts. So you can have 2 kilowatts of panels, but only the inverter can put out 800 watts of panel. Now, no electricity is needed for compliant kits. You can just basically plug it straight into here, unlike normal rooftop systems. And you'll still need to notify the DNO under the usual G98 style for connected and notify process. This does mean that anyone with solar at the moment who have got solar panels already won't be likely to do a G98 notification, because they'll maybe already over 3.68 kilowatts. If you are over 3.68 kilowatts, you will need to do a full G99. If you are under that, you can get away with a G98 after notification. But what about battery systems? So there is a lot of plug-in solar systems with battery systems connected to them. So basically, you have a battery system that's plugged into your 3-pin socket like this, and then the power from the panels goes into the battery, charges the battery if it's empty, and then puts it out back to the house. Now, the government have been extremely clear about this. Battery systems are not compliant under this rule. As soon as that battery power system injects power into the house, they are not legal, even if they hit the 800 watts limit, or even if the panels that feed the battery are only outputting what they produce directly back to the grid. As soon as it enters a battery, it is not allowed under the new rules. It is about as clear as you can get. However, if you have one of these portable devices which is fed by solar panels, there is a slight kind of workaround for the rules. So at the moment, at the time of making this video, like I said, it was not allowed to push that power back into the grid. Whether government consultations on this change in the future, we don't know. But what we do know is that a lot of these plug-in battery devices already have sockets on them. So many of them have 3 or 4, 5 or 6 3-pin sockets directly onto the battery. As long as the power devices are plugged into those sockets on the side of it and are not pushing power back to the grid, they're allowed. There's different rules that have set back the way these systems work. UPSs have been around for a very long time, and effectively, if the solar panels are only charging the battery and not pushing power to the grid and only powering the devices plugged into it, it counts as a UPS and it's completely allowed within the rules. So don't worry if you have got one of these systems and you are worried that it might not be compliant. As long as the devices plugged into it are the only ones being powered and not the rest of the house, completely allowed. Now, the government have estimated the rough savings for a typical home is around £70 to £110 of electricity saving. Now, this depends on how sunny the spots are, the angle, and how much power you can actually use yourself. Kits are expected to start from around about £400 for a compliant kit, and once the proper compliant kits hit the shop, we should see maybe the prices start to drop as interest and obviously buying power drives down that thing. But you've got to remember, for £400 you are buying a microinverter and solar panels, so £400 does seem like a pretty fair price for 2 panels and a microinverter. Now, planning permission should be fine for most under the permitted development rules in England, but if you're in a listed building conservation area or you're renting, you might want to check, especially depending on your local planning rules and local rules around that. Now, if you are a renter or a leaseholder, you will definitely need to speak to your landlord about putting one of these systems in, because at the end of the day, the circuitry in the house is not yours, and there may be additional checks that their insurance company of the leaseholder or owner of the building might want to do before you plug in. So even though this has been touted for people who are living in high-rise and rented flats, make sure you get permission from the landlord or leaseholder before you plug in the solar system. So just a quick sum up: 27th of August 2026, England, Scotland and Wales. Northern Ireland have got slightly different rules. Proper 800 watt plug-in solars become legal, but only the compliant kits. Batteries that push power back to the grid are not allowed under the current regulations, but could change in the future. But don't go out and buy one at the moment if you think you could push power back in the future, because it might have some different rules added to it, that the hardware might have to be changed to allow it. If you want to take the risk, feel free, and there is definitely kits out there that let you push power back into the grids, even though it's technically not legal, as other countries in Europe do allow it. A lot of these kits are designed to work globally, and they will allow you to push power back to the grid. Now, I will be reviewing a whole host of these systems, from plug-in solar to plug-in battery systems to battery systems that you can just charge off the grid and use the dedicated sockets on the system. If you want to learn more about this, click that subscribe button, that notification bell, and as soon as that video is out, you'll see it straight away, or on the plug-in solar playlist. Now, drop a comment down below if you're planning on getting one of these, or if you already have one, maybe a plug-in solar system or even a non-compliant battery system, and you're using it anyway. I'm interested to learn more about people who are already using it, have been a bit early. Some people I know have been using ones for over a year. Let me know how you're getting on with the system, what you're thinking, and if you are happy, for people who've got compliant plug-in systems, if you're happy it's finally going to be legalized, or are you wanting a full dedicated proper solar system? Now, a lot of people will argue that these plug-in solar systems are not safe, not compliant, but the government have legislated this with the wiring regulations. It will definitely help bring down costs. There's a lot of people that just can't afford to buy a full plug-in, full proper roof system because of the costs of that as well. This taking away the need to get an electrician in to install the system definitely helps drop down that cost and make it far more affordable for the average person. Now, if you want to learn more about plug-in solar, check out this playlist I would have created with all the stuff about that there. Or if you're wanting a full dedicated system, check out my plug-in standard solar playlist right here.